Over 60? Stop eating these now and say goodbye to weak legs, as these 8 fruits secretly make muscles and joints worse. Number 1 is mango, the tropical sugar trap. Mangoes are sweet, juicy, and full of vibrant flavor. They're often called a superfruit because they're rich in vitamin C to support immunity, vitamin A for vision, and vitamin E, an antioxidant that protects your cells. Sounds like a perfect snack, right? But here's the catch. One medium mango can contain up to 45 grams of natural sugar. That's more than a can of soda. And while it's natural, your body still processes that sugar the same way. For seniors, this becomes a real problem. As you age, your metabolism slows, your circulation weakens, and your body becomes less efficient at handling sugar. That large dose of sugar from a mango can cause your blood sugar to spike, triggering inflammation in your joints and muscles. The result? Aching legs, swollen ankles, and that uncomfortable heaviness in your thighs after just a short walk. Research published in the Nutrients Journal in 2019 found that seniors who consumed high amounts of fruit sugar, even from healthy sources, experienced increased joint pain and reduced leg strength. So while mango might feel light and refreshing, it can be quietly working against your mobility. Many older adults don't connect the dots. They eat mango thinking it's helping, but hours later feel burning in the feet, tingling in the legs, or slower recovery after movement. These aren't random symptoms. They may be signs of sugar-driven inflammation. Here's a common myth. If it's natural, it can't hurt me. But the truth is, even healthy foods can have the wrong effect if your body can't handle them the way it used to. And mango, with its high sugar load, is one of the worst offenders for seniors dealing with nerve sensitivity, joint issues, or poor circulation. So what can you do? You don't need to cut out mango forever, but be smart. Eat no more than half a mango at a time, and pair it with a source of protein like nuts or Greek yogurt to slow sugar absorption. Better yet, switch to lower sugar, anti-inflammatory fruits like berries or papaya, which are much gentler on your body. Small changes matter. What you put on your plate today shapes how you move tomorrow. Don't let hidden sugar steal your strength. Your legs carry your life. Protect them. Number 2 is orange, the acid that stiffens joints. For decades, oranges have been praised as the perfect healthy fruit. They're rich in vitamin C to boost the immune system, folate to support heart health, and potassium, which helps muscles and nerves function properly. But as we age, what once helped us can start to hurt us. And oranges may quietly be making your joints worse, especially if you're over 60. The issue isn't just the sugar, it's the high citric acid content. That acid gives oranges their signature tart flavor, but it can also irritate aging joints, especially if the cartilage between bones has worn thin over the years. As the protective cushion in your joints decreases, acidic foods can trigger inflammation, leading to morning stiffness, knee pain, and tightness in the hips or ankles. A 2021 study published in Frontiers in Nutrition found that older adults consuming higher amounts of acidic fruits like oranges were more likely to report mobility issues and lower body discomfort than those who didn't. And it gets worse with orange juice. Most people drink it believing it's healthy, but one glass of orange juice can contain as much natural sugar as a candy bar. And that sugar, combined with citric acid, can cause joint swelling, fluid retention, and fatigue in the legs, especially after walking or standing. You might be thinking, but I've always had orange juice in the morning. Isn't that good for my immune system? Here's the truth. You don't need orange juice to get vitamin C. Low-acid fruits like kiwi, strawberries, or papaya offer just as much, without irritating your joints or raising your blood sugar. If you still want to enjoy oranges, do it carefully. Have just a few slices and always pair them with a protein-rich food, like eggs or yogurt, to reduce their impact. And skip the juice. It's far more concentrated and harsher on your body. A small change like this can make a big difference in how your knees feel in the morning, how steady you feel on stairs, and how much strength your legs carry through the day. Remember, it's not about giving up the fruits you love. It's about choosing the ones that love your body back. Number 3 is banana, the carb-heavy misleader. Bananas are one of the most common fruits in senior diets. They're soft, easy to chew, and loaded with potassium, which helps regulate muscle contractions and prevent cramps. They also provide vitamin B6 for brain and nerve health and vitamin C to support your immune system. But while bananas sound like a smart choice, they can be deceptively harmful for aging bodies, especially when it comes to leg strength, swelling, and energy levels. Here's the issue. Bananas are high in natural sugar and fast-acting carbohydrates. One medium banana has around 27 grams of carbs and 14 grams of sugar, which may be too much for the body to process efficiently as we age. As your metabolism slows and insulin sensitivity weakens, your body reacts to those sugars with sudden blood sugar spikes, followed by inflammation. This can lead to fluid retention in the lower legs, ankle swelling, and that common feeling of tired, heavy legs after walking or standing. A 2017 study in the Journal of Gerontology found that seniors consuming higher glycemic fruits like bananas were more likely to report fatigue, joint stiffness, and reduced muscle recovery, especially in the lower limbs. And here's the tricky part. Bananas have long been seen as a muscle helper because of potassium. But the benefit is often outweighed by the sugar load in older adults. So instead of preventing cramps, bananas can actually trigger or worsen stiffness and discomfort, especially in people who are already sensitive to glucose changes. Myth: bananas are great for muscle support and leg energy. Truth: for many seniors, they can increase inflammation and worsen swelling, making movement more difficult. What should you do? If you love bananas, you don't need to cut them out completely. Stick to half a banana and always pair it with protein or healthy fat, like a spoon of almond butter or some cottage cheese, to slow down sugar absorption. Or, better yet, rotate in lower sugar fruits like blueberries, raspberries, or sliced pears that support your muscles without putting stress on your blood sugar. Your legs support your freedom, balance, and mobility. Make sure the food you choose supports them too. If you find this video helpful for your health, make sure to subscribe to our channel. Now, let's move on to the next step. Number 4 is watermelon, the sweet illusion. On a hot day, few things feel more refreshing than a slice of watermelon. It's light, juicy, and seems like the perfect guilt-free snack. It offers vitamin C to support the immune system, vitamin A for vision, and lycopene, a powerful antioxidant. Watermelon is often praised for being hydrating and low in calories. And for younger bodies it can be. But for seniors, watermelon may not be as innocent as it looks. Despite being about 90% water, watermelon has a very high glycemic index, meaning it can raise blood sugar levels quickly, even faster than some processed sweets. And for those over 60, that can cause more problems than you think. As we age, our ability to regulate blood sugar becomes weaker. When watermelon spikes blood glucose, your body releases insulin. But older adults often experience slower insulin response and greater sensitivity to sugar swings. That can lead to inflammation, water retention, and poor circulation, especially in the lower body. A 2020 study published in Clinical Interventions in Aging found that seniors with frequent blood sugar spikes were significantly more likely to report leg fatigue, ankle swelling, and difficulty walking longer distances. The researchers linked this not only to high sugar processed foods, but also to fruits with high glycemic loads, including watermelon. You may enjoy a few slices of watermelon, then hours later feel your calves ache or your ankles tighten after sitting. That's not just age. It's your body's way of telling you it's struggling to manage sugar, Myth: watermelon is mostly water. It's safe and hydrating. Truth: its sugar content and glycemic load make it risky for seniors, especially if you're already dealing with leg weakness, joint inflammation, or circulation issues. What can you do? If you love watermelon, limit it to one small slice and never eat it alone. Pair it with nuts, seeds, or a small protein source to help slow sugar absorption. And don't fall for fruit salads that load up on watermelon as a filler. The more you eat, the more likely you are to feel the effects. Better choices include berries or pear slices, which hydrate without spiking blood sugar and actually support healthy blood flow. Number 5 is grapes, the tiny sugar bombs. Grapes are small, sweet, and easy to eat by the handful. They're often praised for their antioxidants, especially resveratrol, which may support heart health. They also contain vitamin C for immune defense and vitamin K for blood clotting and bone support. But for seniors, grapes can be more harmful than helpful, especially when it comes to joint health and leg comfort. Despite their size, grapes are loaded with fructose, a type of natural sugar that the body absorbs quickly and sends straight to the liver. Here's where the trouble starts. In older adults, the liver often struggles to process excess fructose efficiently. Instead, it converts it into uric acid. High levels of uric acid are directly linked to joint pain, inflammation, and even gout, a painful condition that often begins in the toes, feet, and ankles. A 2018 study published in the journal Arthritis and Rheumatology found that older adults with higher fructose consumption had a notably increased risk of uric acid buildup, joint tenderness, and flare-ups of stiffness in the knees and legs. You might eat a handful of grapes and feel fine. But over time, this constant intake can lead to a slow buildup of uric acid in your joints. Suddenly, your knees feel sore after sitting, or your feet burn at night and you can't quite figure out why. Another danger is how easy grapes are to overeat. Because they're bite-sized and often eaten as a snack, it's common to consume 2 or 3 cups in one sitting, which means a major sugar load your body wasn't ready for. Myth: grapes are good for the heart, so they must be good for everything. Truth: while grapes contain helpful antioxidants, their high fructose content can cause serious problems for aging joints and circulation. So what should you do? Don't feel like you have to cut grapes out completely, but treat them more like a treat, not a daily habit. Limit yourself to a small handful and avoid dried versions like raisins, which are even more concentrated in sugar. For a better alternative, reach for cherries, especially tart cherries, which not only taste great, but can actually help lower uric acid levels and reduce joint pain. The key isn't just what you eat, it's how your body handles it now. Number 6 is green apple, the sour cramper. Green apples are often seen as the healthy choice. They're tart, crisp, and lower in sugar than red apples, or so it seems. They're also a source of vitamin C for immunity, vitamin A for skin and eye health, and dietary fiber, which supports digestion. But for seniors, green apples can quietly irritate joints and trigger muscle discomfort, especially in the lower body. The reason? Malic acid, the very compound that gives green apples their sour taste. While malic acid is harmless for most young people, it can be too harsh for aging joints and tissues. As your body becomes more sensitive over time, even small amounts of acid can lead to stiffness, tightness in the knees, and restless legs at night. A 2020 report in the Journal of Inflammation Research found that older adults with joint pain and arthritis reported increased symptoms after consuming acidic fruits, particularly those high in malic acid, like green apples. On top of that, green apples still contain natural sugars, enough to cause mild blood sugar fluctuations in seniors with slower metabolisms. These sugar swings may lead to early fatigue, leg cramps, and even hip discomfort after walking or standing for long periods. You might enjoy an apple as a light snack before bed, but if you've ever had restless legs or nighttime cramps, this fruit might be part of the problem. Myth: green apples are low in sugar, so they're perfect for seniors. Truth: they may be lower than other fruits, but their acid content and natural sugar can still cause issues for aging joints and muscles. So what can you do? If you enjoy apples, try sweeter, less acidic varieties like Fuji or Gala, in moderation, and always eat them with some protein or fiber, like a few nuts or a slice of cheese, to reduce the sugar impact. Even better, swap green apples for pear slices, gentle on the stomach, low in acid, and much kinder to sensitive joints. As you age, even small food choices can have a big impact on how you move and feel. Don't let a healthy habit be the reason your legs feel tight or your knees ache. Choose the fruits that match the needs of your body now, not the body you had 20 years ago. If you find this video helpful for your health, make sure to subscribe to our channel. Now, let's move on to the next step. Number 7 is pineapple, the acid-sugar duo. Pineapple is one of those fruits that seems too good to be bad. It's tropical, juicy, and praised for its anti-inflammatory enzyme, bromelain. It's also rich in vitamin C, which helps boost immunity, and thiamine, vitamin B1, which supports energy metabolism. But here's what many seniors don't realize. Pineapple is also high in both acid and sugar, and that combination can be harmful to aging legs and joints. As we get older, our stomach lining, blood vessels, and joint tissues become more sensitive. Pineapple's strong citric and malic acids can aggravate already inflamed joints, especially if you have arthritis or circulation problems. That sharp ache in your knees or that heaviness in your calves after standing too long. Pineapple could be making it worse. And then there's the sugar. A single cup of pineapple chunks can contain over 16 grams of sugar, enough to spike blood sugar in older adults with reduced insulin sensitivity. When that happens repeatedly, it leads to inflammation, swelling, and fatigue in the lower limbs. A 2019 clinical review in Nutrients found that frequent consumption of tropical fruits high in both acid and sugar was linked to increased joint discomfort and reduced circulation in adults over 60. There's also a lesser-known concern. Bromelain can interact with blood-thinning medications, like aspirin or warfarin, making them either too strong or too weak. If you're on such medication, eating pineapple regularly without realizing this could increase your risk of side effects, including leg bruising or poor blood flow. Myth: pineapple helps reduce inflammation, so it must be good for joints. Truth: in older adults, its high acid and sugar content can actually worsen joint pain and circulation problems, especially in the legs and feet. What should you do? If you enjoy pineapple, treat it as an occasional treat, not a daily snack. Limit your portion to a few small bites and never consume it on an empty stomach. It's also best to avoid drinking pineapple juice, which is even more concentrated in acid and sugar. Instead, reach for anti-inflammatory fruits like blueberries or papaya, which support joint health and digestion without the harsh side effects. Number 8 is dried fruit mixes, the sneakiest culprit. Trail mixes, granola. Healthy fruit snacks. They sound like smart choices, especially when they include raisins, dried cranberries, apricots, or figs. After all, dried fruits offer vitamin A for vision, vitamin C for immune support, and iron for energy. But for seniors, these convenient snacks are often one of the worst choices you can make for your legs, joints, and circulation. Here's why. When fruit is dried, the water is removed, but the sugar remains concentrated. A handful of raisins, for example, can have more sugar than a candy bar. And that sugar, even though it's natural, hits your system fast, leading to blood sugar spikes, inflammation, and water retention. Worse, Many store-bought dried fruits are coated in added sugars to improve taste, further increasing the load on your body. For seniors, especially those with diabetes, arthritis, or poor circulation, this can result in leg swelling, joint stiffness, and energy crashes after snacking. A 2018 study published in the Journal of Nutrition, Health, and Aging found that older adults who frequently consumed dried fruits or high-sugar snacks were more likely to report mobility issues, including fatigue during walking and ankle inflammation, even when their diets were otherwise healthy. The problem with dried fruits is how easy they are to overeat. They're small, chewy, and marketed as healthy. But without the water to slow digestion, they go straight to your bloodstream, and the effects show up quickly. Tired legs, tight calves, and that dragging feeling after short walks. Myth: dried fruits are a healthy alternative to candy. Truth: they can be just as sugary and even more damaging to seniors with joint pain or blood sugar issues. What should you do? Avoid store-bought dried fruit blends, especially those with added sugar or preservatives. If you do eat dried fruit, keep your portion very small, about 1 tablespoon, and pair it with raw nuts or seeds to slow absorption. A better choice? Stick with fresh, water-rich fruits like pears, cherries, or papaya, which hydrate the body and support joint flexibility without the blood sugar crash.